Yo, imagine being a parent whose adult children cut all ties to you. They don't even speak to you anymore. They don't call you on your birthday. They don't plan anything for Mother's or Father's Day. They never even update you on your grandchildren's milestones. Refuse to come to your bedside when you're chronically ill. Never visit you in the nursing home. I mean, if they saw you in line at a Starbucks, they'd probably side-eye you for a minute and then pretend like they didn't even know you. All because you failed so fantastically, so monumentally at your job, your one job, as the loving, supportive presence in their lives, that your children would rather dethrone you from quite arguably one of the most irreplaceable positions you could ever hold in another human being's life, voluntarily orphaning themselves, than spend one more millisecond of their time on Betty White's green earth, drowning themselves in your emotional immaturity. Couldn't be me.
Here's my thing when it comes to going no contact with parents specifically. If a child goes no contact with a parent, I stand firm in my belief that it is the parent's fault. If your child grows up and decides to cut you off and to end communication with you, 9 times out of 10, it's your fault. There are parents that will say, oh, such and such doesn't call me. You talking about a 6-year-old don't call you? What are you saying? And then it's like, who are these people around them that are enabling this lunacy so that they think it's even an acceptable thing to come out of your mouth, that the 6-year-old child of yours isn't calling you? Are you calling them? And then it's like, oh, they don't want to be around me. Why? What does that say about you? And then the kids get grown, they ignore them, they block them, they don't want to be around them. And then all of a sudden it's the adult child's fault. No, because it's not easy for a child to decide to cut a parent off, but sometimes it's necessary because we are protecting our peace by any means necessary. And if interacting with you leaves me feeling like I'm in pieces, then it's peace out to you, fool. Get out of here. We don't have time for people who are detractors. I'm sitting here trying to build something. You pretending like you building with me, and I turn my back. You trying to knock the house back down. You can't have that. You can't have people that are intentionally trying to mess up what you putting together. And a lot of times it's parents that do that. Some parents are the biggest haters, the biggest detractors, and then got so much to say. Oh, you went no contact with me. Well, when you know, you know. And sometimes we got to know that it's time to go, okay? You can't just sit around trying to cause chaos and bring people down and then blame your child for not talking to you. I had one relative try to shame me because I started going to therapy. So you trying to shame me for trying to better myself? Like in Little Shop of Horrors, better yourself? You heard what she said, better ourselves. Mister, when you from Skid Row, ain't no such thing. My mama loves that movie, so we all love that movie now. But that's from Little Shop of Horrors, if you don't know. But now you know. The point is, though, she tried to shade me because I wanted to improve my mental health. Girl, bye. I'm not talking about my mom. I'm talking about somebody else. And I have so many instances like that where when I think back to it now, I'm like, wow, did you really try to say that? So one of my relatives tried to shade me for having daddy issues. Like I asked. Now, who knows when we're up in a different realm, we come here, I don't know. Like, do we choose who we are? Do we choose our parents? I have no idea. Okay. I'm not going to sit up here in front like I know what's up. But what I do know is that this relative told me, well, I thought you would have made better decisions with who you're dating. Girl, what? And I didn't say anything because I'm respectful. But I was thinking, because of the legacy you left. Because the legacy you left behind was so clear as to the right path of selecting male partners. So I should learn from you. Is that what you're trying to say? While you're shading me? Because of something that you helped create? Are you crazy? And I'm not talking about my mom, just so you know. I'm not talking about her. Because that wasn't her that said that. That was somebody else. So people just say crazy things out the side of their neck. Okay? Just crazy things. And then wonder why you don't call them no more. They say, oh, I don't really care. I don't need to speak to you. I don't care. I had a relative tell me after we made up, we said we were going to do things differently, and he just stopped responding. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, we literally, because I had done that, and I was definitely the significantly younger person in the situation, just to also paint that picture. And because he said something really insensitive. So, but then we came back together, and this is the thing, this is what should have been a major red flag to me that I brushed off, was he said, no, we made an agreement. And I take that very seriously. When you say something, that's what it is. Your word is your bond. So that should have let me know off rip, because he lied right after we agreed that the next time either one of us had an issue with something that one of us said, did, or interacted in a different way, we would talk about it and we would handle it. So this person listened to something and then just stopped talking to me. And I was trying to figure out, like, what the heck? Mainly because this person has never, ever done that before. Just ghosted for out of nowhere. And the moment that we made an agreement that that's what we were not going to do, that's when he did it. And that's foul. And so then later on, we're in a good space, me and this person. We're in a good space. And this person decides to tell me, while we're in a good space, we're not arguing, we're actually in a good space, that if he never spoke to me again, he wouldn't care. And he's only communicating with me because God says he has to. But if he never saw me again, if he never spoke to me again, he wouldn't lose one iota of sleep. And this is us in a healthy space, okay? Yes, and this is an older relative of mine, significantly older male relative of mine, who said this to me while we were in a healthy, I thought, space. And so then this fool got what he asked for, because now I don't talk to him. And suddenly now it's an issue. But my thing is, like, people think that they can just talk to you any kind of way if you let them. And there's so many stories like that where I just took the constant BS from people in my family, from people outside, from people at work, from people at school, from people at college, from people here, there. I just kept taking it. But my dating life, but now no more, said the bore. No more. I'm done with that. I'm over it, and I'm protecting my peace because it took a little something to get here. Yeah. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was my sanity, my peace, and my happiness. So I knew, because of some other things that happened, it was like I had no other option but to remove these people. And for a while, I had just been, distancing myself from people here. But this last round of cuts down there left me with five compadres. 6, 7, maybe 8. I'm being facetious, okay? I'm being very facetious. I don't literally mean 5. But at the same time, I couldn't keep excusing things because of what I wished was happening. I had to get to the point where I could just accept that this is the reality of the situation, and I'm tired of this heartbreak. I just got so tired of it. I got tired of crying. I got tired of being depressed. I got tired of being mistreated. I got tired of being lied to. I got tired of being lied on. I got tired of having to defend myself to people who really don't give a F about me for real. I got tired of trying to prove myself to someone who flat out told me they wouldn't lose sleep if they never spoke to me, never saw me again. And the only reason why they interact with me at all is because what God said that they have to do because of the person that they are in relation to me. I got tired of that. I don't deserve that. And that's also why, quite frankly, I've taken a break. And I've decided to be single because I discovered that I was not making the healthiest choices in partners because of my own baggage. Why do I keep picking guys that are emotionally unavailable? Oh, that's why. Why do I keep being in friendships with people that when I got my first apartment, my first job, this girl came and ate all my dang on food and said, well, you can afford to get more. What? I'm fresh out of college, new job that I hate, and I'll get into some of those stories later, that I'm being harassed every single day. I'm paying everything. You know, like when I was living in my apartments, I wasn't asking for money. I was paying everything. Car note, insurance, all the bills, electricity, you know, and I was living in a gated community. So, you know, it wasn't cheap. Paying for my car, buying gas, buying food, going out with my friends and my line sisters, doing all these things. And you gonna come up in here as my guest? You supposed to be my friend, and you gonna eat all my snacks and not even tell me? And then when I ask you why you ate all my food, you gonna tell me because I can afford more? Are you freaking crazy? And that's who I was around. And that's how I know I was toxic. Because to be around those kind of things, I had to have been toxic too. And I started to just pick up on stuff. This has been years in the making, because that was years ago. I know you're like, dang, she's been out of college for years. Yes, baby. Yes. But I had to just really reassess and like do some real self-development. Okay? Because I have had some pretty traumatic, crazy experiences that I know now could have been avoided had I cut my relatives off earlier, had I cut certain friends off earlier, had I made rounds of cuts earlier, I would have had a lot less trauma and a lot less negative experiences. Okay? And that's what it was. So what I would have told another version of me was stop being so nice. And ultimately, these people do not like you. And that is okay. Because I like you. I like me. I like who I am. I like what I do. I like my artwork. I like that I help in the community. I teach classes in my free time. I'm not a teacher. Okay, where I have a job. I have another job. Okay, I'm not saying teaching not a job because it is, but I have another job and I teach children. On top of that, just because I love kids. I like me. I like that when I'm in class with my students, they don't want to leave the class because they're having such a good time. Every time it's time to go, they be like, please, can we just stay like a little bit? Are you serious? You know, we can't stay like 5 minutes. I'm like, fine, like 10 more minutes. Sometimes they're roping me into a whole nother 30 minutes and I don't get paid for that extra time, but I still show up anyway. I'm there. I like the fact that I'm an artist and I vend when I feel like it. I don't do it all the time because I'm a seasonal creator. But like when it's summer and springtime, I create my art and then I go sell it at festivals. That's just because I like doing that. I like that. I like volunteering. I do things in the community. I like going to the pond to feed the ducks. I like that kind of stuff. I like to go eat beignets with my mama and my siblings and my dad. I like that stuff. And I'm fine with it. And here's the stuff that people used to say bad about me. I like that I talk a lot because look at me now, baby. I started a whole, you guys don't know this because it's on my Instagram, but I had a whole Instagram interview series during the pandemic, interviewing Grammy, Tony, Emmy award-winning producers because I talk a lot. And people always told me, oh, you talk too much. You too this, you too that, you too loud. You got too much to say. You always want to talk. Well, I darn straight do. I like that about me. People in high school used to, this is real. They used to talk about my derriere. The girls I used to cheer with would say, oh, it's too, this or that. It's too movable. That's what I'll say, just to keep it PG. It moves too much. But you know who likes it? The dudes that I like it. Okay? So I like that. Okay? I like how when I move, it moves. I like that. I like me. Okay? I like my relationship with my siblings. I like my relationships with people around me. I like the fact that of all the people who I was walking up the steps at a museum, and I still remember this. It was just the cutest thing. So I'm going up this way, and if you've ever been to a museum in DC, like there's always constant traffic on the steps. So I'm walking down the steps, and all of a sudden I feel a little hand on my finger. I'm so serious. I feel a little hand on my finger. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I didn't snatch my hand away because the hand felt little. So I looked down, and there's this little kid, of all the hands to pick. You know, I just took it as a blessing. It was the cutest thing. This little Indian kid is holding my hand and looking up at me and using me to help him get up the stairs. And his mom was looking at me. I just started smiling. And I just let him go up the stairs and went holding my hand and held up traffic so he could get up the stairs. But it was the cutest thing. So I like that about me, that of all the people on that busy stairwell, somehow that little kid grabbed my hand. To me, that's the sweetest thing. I like the fact that kids always want to be around me. I like that. I like the fact that I can talk to anybody and I'm loud. But you know who doesn't like it? A lot of my relatives hate me for it. Hate me, I think, because they ain't me. Because, I mean, I like me, so I don't see what the problem is. And, you know, I have one of those personalities that I can get along with anybody. Even like the last place that I left, the job, they were so upset. And they're like, yo, like this place is going to be a lot different without you here. And people always say that because I just have one of those personalities, and it's okay to say that. It's true. I wasn't always like this, so I can admit that too. I've done my fair share of developing over the years, so I'll be very, very honest there. But now I have the type of vibe where I can get along with anybody. So it's at this point, if you don't like me, that's because you have a problem. I don't have a problem with these relatives that hate me for some reason. The problem was I didn't know that they hated me. The problem was I kept trying to delude myself into thinking that, oh, no, they do like me. They do love me. They do appreciate me. No, they did not. And me denying it was dangerous for me. So I had to come to the realization, not of my own free will, but because I was forced to come to the realization that them MFers did not like me, and I didn't know how far it could go until it was too late. And so that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I don't want anyone oh, that's a plane. I gotta go see what that is. With all this stuff about aliens going on, every single thing that sounds strange now, I have to go investigate. I'm serious. I forgot what I was talking about, honestly. But the point is that if your relative seems like an op to you, it's likely because they are. And the sooner you can recognize it, a lot less heartache will come to you, a lot less drama and trauma you'll have to hear from, point blank, period. And some people do not deserve to be around you because all they're going to do is hate on you. Let them hate from the outside of the stadium, not from the nosebleed seats. You don't even get invited. The tickets are sold out. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Get out of my space. Goodbye. And that is my version of forgive and forget, because if you've been watching it for a minute, I don't know what your story is when it comes to my videos, but I do not believe in the traditional forgive and forget. Okay, I think it's stupid, and I think it's lunacy, and I think it's a way to continue to be mistreated. I believe that you forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be mistreated for so long. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to keep trying to get these people's approval, to keep trying to get them to see you and appreciate you and value you. I forgive me for that. And then I forget them and I move the F on with my life. And on occasion, do I feel a little bit sad? Yes. But I'd rather be sad one day out the year than 4 weeks out in the month. Okay? I'd rather that than be in some drama, than be yelling, being upset, and being mad. Because I can tell you one thing about two things for sure. As sad as it might be to have removed certain people from my circle, I'm a lot more sane, I'm a lot more calm, I'm a lot more healthy, and I'm a lot more happy. Okay? I'm a lot more productive. Okay, I'm a lot more consistent because I don't have people who are trying to sabotage me mentally because they hate themselves and they hate what I represent to them. And so then they try to, sabotage me or bring me down. And I had to cut them people off. So if you are no contact with a relative, no matter who they are, I see you, okay? And we in this together, baby, no matter who it is. And those people that are no contact, you just have to think to yourself, are you a logical person? Okay. Did you cut them off for a reason? Perhaps was it something they did that warranted you cutting them off? Okay, so keep it that way. Unless they have changed and evolved, keep it that way. And there's some people that just cannot change. There's a difference between love bombing and actual growth and evolution. Okay?